Welcome our attendees and our panelists that are here. Welcome to the virtual. My name's Jenny Johnson, and I am an independent counselor, but I'm a former president of PACAC, who is bringing you these virtual college fairs. We'd like to welcome you all to the virtual college fair exploration for all Pennsylvania students, sponsored by the Pennsylvania Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. PACAC is a nonprofit association comprised of more than 1,200 school counselors, college admissions counselors, independent education consultants, and other professionals responsible for guiding students through the important transition from high school to post-secondary options. Thank you so much for joining us. Just a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at pacac.org or pacac.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, pacac.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters and be off with the show.
So good afternoon. My name is Colin Dempey. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions at Keystone College, and I'd just like to welcome everyone and thank them for joining us this afternoon. I'm joined alongside Alex Ellsworth from Johnson College, Eric Grego from King's College. You guys could wave too, yeah, if you want to. Katie Becker from Misericordia University and Ian Schreffler from Wilkes University. And we are all here part of the Northeastern Pennsylvania Colleges and Universities session this afternoon. As we are all located in Northeastern Pennsylvania and most famously known for the show The Office in Scranton, Pennsylvania. That said, now that we have our introductions done, we are going to each be making about 3 to 4 minute presentations about our colleges, universities, and what we do have to offer. We'll be going in alphabetical order, and then we're going to turn it over to you for questions and answers afterwards. But I am going to turn it over to Alex first to get started with the first part of the presentations.
Awesome, thanks Colin. And everyone, I appreciate you joining us. So like Colin said, my name's Alex Ellsworth. I'm the Assistant Director of Enrollment here at Johnson College. Colin gave the office a shout out. We actually are located in Scranton. We're right on the border. Half of our campus is in Scranton, half of it's in Dixon City, but we are on the border. So we're a little bit more unique than my colleagues and the schools they represent. We are a 2-year technical college. So what does that mean? The majority of the work that is offered at Johnson College is hands-on. So we offer 2-year associate degree programs and we offer 1-year academic certificate programs. In total, we have 18 different programs, and the mantra that we go on is we work. So our students are doing this hands-on work. Our programs include everything from automotive technology, which is fixing engines, carpentry, which would be building structures. We do heating, ventilation, air conditioning program, HVAC, electrical construction and maintenance, and then we also have a kind of like a health science side of things. So we do a veterinary technology, we do radiologic technology as well, and again, these are all associate degree programs. So again, that hands-on mantra is what we talk about at Johnson College. We're a really small institution. We have just under 500 students. So we strive on personalized attention, so your instructors knowing you by name, and then also to, our job placement rate. So a lot of schools, we'll talk about, we have a 100% satisfaction rate, or we have an 80% job placement rate. At Johnson College, we have a 94% in-field job placement rate. So of our graduates, for every 100 graduates, 94 of them are placed in their field and working after they graduate. So that's something we're very proud of. And obviously there's been a lot of unfortunate things the last couple of months with COVID-19, people unfortunately losing their jobs. And you keep hearing the word, these essential careers, essential employees, and you see signs at different places, heroes work here. Well, at Johnson, we've been talking about this. We have essential careers. Our graduates during this time were not people that were, laid off or were furloughed. Our programs were just as needed as before. I use the example right now. It's getting a little chilly in our end of the Northeast today. Our heat kicked on at Johnson. so if it's 10 degrees out and your heat goes out, doesn't matter really how much it costs, you're going to get it fixed. Same idea if it's 110 degrees out and your air conditioner breaks. So again, we talk about these essential careers and how they're dire for today's world. Just to give you an idea on the scope, again, we are a really small school, under 500 students, but our reach, extends a lot further. And we were actually named the #10 trade school in the nation by Forbes magazine last year. So our students, right now, currently during all of this, we're taking all the appropriate protocols, but we are doing in-person classes for their hands-on labs. So that explains to the students, anytime you would be doing something, fixing something, that's going to be in person. And then anytime you would be sitting at a desk in a classroom, that would be online right now using that model. So we have, knock on wood, we have not had any positive COVID tests. We are testing for students. We are making sure and taking those protocols. So we just encourage students to come and see our campus. We are doing shadow sessions where we can actually schedule a time to come in and sit in on a lab and just see what our students do. So if you want to sit in a welding lab and see sparks fly, you could do that. If you want to go and see how our vet tech students work with animals, you could do that. So please, I encourage you guys, if you are interested, to come to campus. We're here to help you get started. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Alex. Again, my name is Colin Dempey. I'm the Assistant Director of Admissions here at Keystone College, and it is a privilege to be here with everybody this afternoon. Again, all of our schools all of our institutions have something different to offer. As far as Keystone, our location is about 20 minutes north of Scranton. So we're actually in a rural location, which apparently during the pandemic has been working out really well. I'm very fortunate for that as well too. But being close to Scranton, we still have malls, movie theaters, and everything else close by as well. Our graduates do have a 98% success rate as far as getting a job within their job field within 6 months of graduating or going on to graduate school. And just kind of bouncing off of, also segueing from Alex at Johnson College as well too, is we actually have an articulation agreement with Johnson College for their students to come from Johnson to Keystone. And we actually have an articulation agreement with Wilkes University for our nursing program as well too. So we're all connected and unique in our own ways. As far as what we do have to offer here on campus, we have about 1,300 students in total. About 500 do live on campus, and our average class size is 13 students. So we are a smaller school as well too. So if you say you're looking for a big school, we would tell you we're definitely not the right fit. But we're a great school if you're looking for an individualized and personalized experience, getting to know your faculty, and really growing within the community here as well as throughout the alumni network. That said, we're also, as far as athletics, we're part of the Colonial States Athletic Conference for most sports. For football, we are part of the Penn East Football Conference. We have 18 sports in total, 9 women's and 9 men's. We also have a great music program on campus as well, which is actually open to the community to get involved with as well, with more than 10 ensembles. As far as student-led clubs, we do have more than 30 clubs on campus. And as far as what we do have to offer there, if there's something that you wanted to get started, you could do that on our campus as well too, with 8 students and 2 advisors. As far as the application process, our application process is very straightforward. Our application is free to fill out online, and we are also part of the Common app. You can just go to keystone.edu/apply to fill out your application. It takes about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, we are a test optional school, meaning that we do not have a minimum SAT or ACT requirement. But if you were to submit your test scores, it wouldn't be held against you, but we can use it to give you a higher academic merit scholarship, which is part of the, automatically part of the application process to be considered for that academic merit scholarship. As far as completing your application, you just have to send in your high school transcripts, and we do recommend sending your personal essay or as well as recommendation letters so that we as counselors can get to know you the best that we can. But it's encouraged, but it's not a requirement. Again, about when it comes to visits, right now we are able to host both in-person and virtual visits, and our classes are being offered both in person and virtually, or remote synchronously as is the proper termination. But we're very fortunate that this semester is going great so far. As far as signing up for an in-person or virtual option, you can go to keystone.edu/visit. And we have a virtual open house coming up on October 24th. We host weekday visits as well as small group Saturdays if you can't make it up during the week. And just to tie it up, we do have more than 40 majors and minors: biological and physical sciences, business, criminal justice, early childhood education, computer science, digital media, and wildlife biology are just a few highlights there, but you can go to our website and see all of the majors we have to offer as well. But that's my 3 to 4 minute presentation. I'm going to turn it over to Eric at King's College right now, and looking forward to answering questions afterwards.
Thank you, Colin, and thank you for everyone joining us today. We're very excited to get to present on each one of our schools. So as Colin said, I am Eric Grego. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions here at King's College. I am a proud alum of King's College. I graduated in 2014 and have been working in the admissions office ever since. I am from the local area, so I am very familiar with going to a school in Northeastern Pennsylvania and then going to college there. At King's College, we were actually founded by University of Notre Dame, which is great because you have the University of Notre Dame that you see on ESPN on game day every weekend, and then you have King's College in Wilkes, Pennsylvania as sister schools. So we have a great connection with them. We have a lot of programs in connection with them as well. Here at King's College, our average class size is about 16 students or so per classroom, so that small hands-on experience is what we're looking for as well. We have about 2,400 students in total, but you're going to see those small class sizes, that small community, as you'll be seeing at all the schools that we're mentioning today. So like Colin mentioned, if you're interested in a big school, these are not the schools for you in the future. With our class sizes, we want to make sure that you have small labs, small class sizes, like I mentioned. So our labs are even kept at 16 students per classroom. When it comes to majors, what we have some fantastic majors set up on campus. Our top major being our 5-year Master's Physician Assistant program. Then we have our AACSB accredited business school. Then we have our engineering program, 5-year Master's in Athletic Training, Education, just to name a few majors on campus. For your application, if you are interested in applying, we require the SATs, your SATs for the Physician Assistant program, for the engineering program, and for our nursing program on campus. Any other major on campus, we do not require the SAT. So if you're having difficulty, especially with COVID, we understand that. We want to make sure it's as easy as possible for students. On campus, we are in the city of Wilkes, so it's fantastic that we have a lot going on with clubs, organizations, and then even our athletics as well. We have 27 athletic teams on campus, including and we just included our esports on campus as well. So we have a lot of different variety of majors. And if you're not athletics, and if you're not interested in athletics on campus, please join one of our clubs that we have as well. Our application is now open for current seniors. We do accept the common application, as well as we do have our own application as well. So please feel free to submit those at any time. Like I mentioned, besides those 3 programs, we are a test optional school. And once we get your transcripts and letters of recommendation, we have 2 weeks to let you know of an answer from here at King. So it's a very, very quick turnaround. And we want to make sure the moment that we know that you know if you're accepted here or not. And then finally, we are also open for visits. Monday through Saturday. Monday through Friday will be a personal visit where you'll have your own individual tour and then meet with a admissions counselor like myself. On Saturdays, you might have a little bit more of a presentation style, but still small and hands-on where you'll be able to meet with an admissions counselor as well. So we also have an open house coming up, a virtual open house this upcoming Sunday if you wish to join that. Thank you for allowing us to speak today, and I hope to answer any questions you may have in the future as well. And I think Katie at Misericordia is going to take over.
All right, that puts me up next to the participants that have just joined. Welcome. We are the Northeast PA colleges, so we're just kind of running through who we are, what each university offers, and everything. There will be recordings of this, so you can watch back on any schools that you may have missed. But my name is Katie. I am the Assistant Director of Admissions at Misericordia. I primarily work with students in the local counties, Luzerne, Lackawanna, and Wyoming. So if you hear from someone else throughout the admissions process from Misericordia, that is why. but I'll just kind of go over a little bit about who we are as a university, what we offer, and some highlights, and then any other specifics we can talk about during the Q&A after. Misericordia is located in Dallas, PA. So we are, like Keystone mentioned, in a little bit more of a rural setting. We have a lot of green, we have a lot of nature around us, but Wilkes and Scranton are not too far away. So if you want to get off campus, you can go, downtown to go out to eat, go to the movies, go shopping, anything like that. But here it's going to be a very community-based campus. And community, I think, is the word that you'll hear from a lot of our students and a lot of our alumni, whether it's their team, their major, their residence hall, their group of friends that they found here. Community-based living and learning is really what Misericordia focuses on and what we highlight day to day. We were founded by the Sisters of Mercy in 1924, so we are somewhat quickly coming up on our 100-year anniversary, and I think that the sisters really just gave us the values that keep us here today. So we really operate on mercy, service, justice, and hospitality, and that really gives our students kind of a guide of how to conduct themselves, how to decide what they are getting involved with, and what kind of projects they're moving forward with. It speaks a lot to our majors as well. So at Misericordia, we are divided into 3 different colleges: the College of Arts and Sciences, College of Business, and College of Health Sciences and Education. And that's really just to give you an overview of the type of programs that we offer. We have a variety of opportunities here. A lot of people know us as a health science school. I went to Misericordia. I was a history major, so I was in nothing health science related. I took my 2 science classes and that was done. So there's a little bit of something for everybody. So it just depends what you're looking for. But we do have a variety of programs as far as degrees go. So we offer bachelor's, master's, and doctorate level offerings. So depending on your content area will depend what type of degree you can get here. But we can talk about that on a more specific basis later on. So our students, the nice part is, we are a small university. We're located in a tiny little corner of PA, but our alumni are everywhere. I personally have friends who are out in California, Colorado, they're down in Florida, they're all the way up to Maine. So they're across the country. So it gives you a strong alumni network still with that community-based background. So I think a lot of similarities between our schools lie in that factor. Alumni are pretty widespread, but you can still have that small campus community feel. Our classes are generally about 18 to 19 students. Even this year, as we've made adjustments for COVID, the class sizes have gone down as we've been on campus. So we've made adjustments to classroom spaces. So you're even getting more one-on-one attention from professors, getting that individualized learning plan, time to go over a paper, time to go over notes, how to prep for a test. We're really doing our best to accommodate that. Speaking of on campus, we have been here since August 20th. Our students just got through midterms last week, so they are breathing a bit of a sigh of relief now with only a few weeks left to go on campus. And we're very fortunate that we've been here this long. We plan to be here until Thanksgiving, so knock on all the wood that's around this office that happens, just like all of us who are holding our breaths. We are also doing on-campus visits, so if you'd like to come see campus, you can certainly do that. We offer visits Monday through Friday. We're also here on Saturdays, and then we will have 2 Sunday opportunities in November, so you can come in the afternoon, and that's a little bit more just look around, ask some brief questions, and see campus, hopefully still with some of the fall leaves out. Our application process is pretty similar to the others so far. We keep it pretty simple. We're on the Common App. We have our own application, and then for all programs for seniors this year, we have gone completely test optional. So you are not, required to submit any scores. If you have them, you're welcome to send them in, but it's not going to impact you in one way or another. Really, the transcripts are what we're going to be looking at. And then one highlight that I do like to mention for our students, this is something that's available to all of our applicants who have at least a 3.7 GPA or above. We do offer a full scholarship competition. It's called the Sister Mary Glennon Award. For that, you do need to be admitted by January 1st. And it's a competition, first round essay, second round interview with the faculty committee, and 6 students are chosen to receive full tuition scholarship. So that is something available to all of our applicants across majors. So I just like you to kind of have that on the back burner as you're thinking about your timeline for getting ready. So if you have other questions about Misericordia, we can definitely go over that. But for now, I am going to turn it over to Ian at Wilkes.
Thank you, Katie. Hi all, and thank you again for attending our session. As mentioned, my name is Ian Schreffler, and I am one of Wilkes University's Associate Directors of Undergraduate Admissions. For those of you who may not be familiar with Wilkes University, we are a 4-year private institution located in the historic district of the smaller city of Wilkes-Barre. And at Wilkes, you'll find that our students are offered the opportunities, the programs, and activities of really a large university, but in that caring and mentoring culture of a small university. With just under 2,500 full-time undergraduate students from 31 states and 15 countries, which gives you an average class size of 21 with a 12-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, I can assure you that you're not going to be just another number on a sheet of paper, very similar to the other 4 schools within this session. You're going to be known by your name. You're going to be known by your face. And to be completely honest, you'll probably even see your professors more than you want to at times. But I'm not saying this in a bad way by any means, because at Wilkes, we have a healthy mix of over 46 professional and liberal arts programs, along with 13 pre-professional programs that makes for Wilkes University to be a very hands-on school. And an example of this is, let's say you're a student interested in conducting groundbreaking breast cancer research. You can do so with Dr. Sabuni. Or if you're interested in traveling north of the Arctic Circle to research the effects of climate change and what that has on plants, you can do so. Or maybe you're that student who's interested in running your own business. The nice thing is you can do this all even within your first year at Wilkes. Now, even though you're going to be busy in the classroom, there still leaves room to participate in one of our 23 Division III sports teams, which, by the way, we do have some newly renovated facilities to play and practice on. But you can also be part of maybe one of our over 80 clubs or organizations that we have on campus that deal with anything from academics, sports and fitness, faith, culture and diversity, student leadership, and much more. And you're not limited to participating in just one of the sports or just one of the clubs or organizations due to the specific major you choose. We have students majoring in all of our different schools that make up the university while also taking part in a club or sport or an organization. Now, of our over 46 programs, Wilkes University is made up of 7 schools, which are all located on our campus. And those schools consist of the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, the College of Science and Engineering, the J.S. Sid Hughes School of Business and Leadership, the Nesbitt School of Pharmacy, the Passon School of Nursing, the School of Education, and the University College for Undeclared. Now, as a reflection of the hard work that our students at Wilkes University have put in through their career outcomes, it consists of 96% of our students are working or attending graduate or professional schools in the areas related to their desired outcome, or 77% of our graduates reported that they're working full-time. 3% are in the military. So we have students who are very successful with their immediate outcomes. Now, lastly, in order to experience really what I've been talking about, what you'll want to do is apply. And our first year student application process is fairly easy, and there are really 2 ways that you can complete the application. 1 being through our website at wilkes.edu/apply, or 2 being through the common application. We don't prefer one application over the other, so complete the application that you feel most comfortable with, and remember to utilize our application fee waiver of Apply Now. We have gone completely test optional this year, so we do not require the SAT and or ACT for any of our programs. And to wrap that up, please be sure that you go to visit not only Wilkes, but if you can visit any of our schools. This is such an important time in juniors and seniors' careers to step foot on a campus, hopefully get that feel. What you'll find is you're going to hear the word fit pretty often from any admissions counselor, and fit embodies everything that the 5 of us have discussed so far in this session. So we thank you. And here at Wilkes, we look forward to seeing you again and hopefully shaping your career as a Wilkes University Colonel. But with that said, that wraps up our individual key points of our institutions. And we'd really just like to open the floor up to you, the students, for the question and answer. We do ask, if you do have questions for individual schools, just please notify us. of the specific school the question is geared towards, or if your question is a general question, or for all of us counselors, please let us know too. So thank you.
While waiting for questions, I would like to say there is excellent food options throughout all of Northeastern Pennsylvania as well. It's good to know. Everybody asks.
Right, some may call us the pizza capital of the world.
Ian, you have a question that says, does Wilkes University have a physical therapy major?
So we have a pre-physical therapy major, which means when you hear a pre-professional program, and I'm sure this goes for any of the other schools too, this means that you complete prerequisites at that given school. So for example, for us, a pre-physical therapy program means you do have to select a declared major. Typically students within any pre-professional health program stick with the sciences. So around your biology, your biochem, your chemistry, physics, things along those lines, because the prerequisites that you're going to have to take in order to move on to that next school, to move on to PT school, to obtain your doctorate degree, will deal with the sciences. I don't know if anybody else has anything to add in regards to a pre-professional school, but it's kind of that in a nutshell.
I would like to jump in real quick for PT. Misericordia does have the direct entry program, so we certainly have the pre-professional tracks, and for any student that's looking at a pre-professional program, I encourage you to apply to four-year programs as well as direct entry programs and decide what is the best path for you. But for ours, rather than applying to graduate school upon completion of your bachelor's degree, you're guaranteed your seat as a freshman, or as a freshman in college or senior in high school, going through the process. So all of us have a few programs like that. PT is just one of them at Misericordia.
If you guys have any other questions, we're not shy. We're happy to answer them.
No question's a bad question, I promise.
We know we didn't cover everything. There has to be something.
I thought we were all pretty thorough. One of the things too, I'll kind of jump in a little bit. Colin, I know, mentioned kind of about the food. All of our schools are probably within, I would say, a half hour of each other as well. So say you are planning to do like an in-person visit, you could, very easily, if you're coming from, say a couple hours away, you could hit all of them in a day, or, if you stay over, do 2 days as well. So we are pretty close in proximity. The general area, it's like the Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, depending on where people live, they put which one they put first. But it's kind of like a mid, smaller size like city. Again, I know I mentioned earlier, like the Office fame is what everyone keeps hearing about, but just know that if you do come here, you definitely can visit the 5 of our schools very easily within a day too. It's easy to navigate the area too, and generally, you guys could speak of this as well. It's a very safe area. One of the coolest parts about it, you get a full, like everywhere else in PA, you're getting your full 4 seasons, but we're close to a lot to do. Like Katie mentioned, they're in Dallas, which is a little bit more rural. You can go to Scranton, you can go to Wilkes-Barre, there's shopping, there's things to do. Obviously in a non-COVID year, there's sports teams in the area too. So there is a lot to do in this little corner of Northeast Pennsylvania.
And it's great because, like you're saying, there's a lot to do. For example, you leave King's campus, you make a right, you go out on the city of Wilkes-Barre and go shopping and go to the Barnes & Noble, go eat places such as that, get the pizza like we're all saying. But you make a left and go up a couple minutes, then you can start going hiking. You go to Kirby Park, a lot of different options for you. So just because you're going to go into a school in a city of Wilkes-Barre, which is not really that large of a city, but you still have the opportunity to go hiking or go into nature, go skiing, things such as that. So that's in each one of our backyards, which is just an amazing thing each of us have.
Yeah, as Eric stated, I mean, kind of live in the best of both worlds. You can do your hunting, you can do your fishing, you can do your kayaking, you can do your outdoorsy stuff if you'd like to, but the city of Scranton, the city of Wilkes-Barre allows you to do that shopping, to eat that good food from nationally recognized restaurants and locally owned restaurants and things along those lines. And if you'd like, you can even go to the Poconos, which gives you a lot of good skiing and mountains and things along those lines. So there's tons of opportunity in the area, and tons of opportunities too for internships and jobs and things along those lines, in which each one of our individual schools will help you throughout that process in regards to getting a resume together, in regards to maybe running through mock interviews to help you obtain that internship that you'd like, and then hopefully land that dream job to which you've been working for throughout the 4 years that you've been at our schools, or 6 years, or 5 years, or 7 years, depending on the programs that you're in.
I will say one thing too, kind of back to visiting our schools and that individual attention. You know, if you guys are on the other side of the state, or even if you're in our backyard, but you can't actually get to campus, all of us are doing virtual visits. And if you're really unsure on a major, I know for us, and I imagine all the other schools here, if you want to talk with a faculty member, let us know. We can get that set up. I was just talking with a student the other day who's deciding between 4, 5, 6 different majors, and we know that that's overwhelming to not only be unsure of where you want to go, but also be unsure of what you want to major in. Don't be afraid to ask us if you can talk with someone in that field. We can either get you connected to an alumni that we know, a faculty member who is in that department. It's a really good resource, and we're all more than happy to set those up. It's quite literally our job and what we're here for. So take us up on that offer. But I think the unique part about all of us is that we'll happily do that for you. We are all very individualized schools that really want to see you succeed, whether it's here as a student or even in high school trying to figure out what that decision is. Like Ian said, we want you to find your best fit, and we'll do whatever we can to make that happen.
And just to kind of go off that too, Katie, I always tell students, a lot of times, like, they're like, oh, if I'm accepted, I'm locked into this. No, it's, I always use the example, it's like a job. If you apply to a job and you get offered the job, it's your decision whether or not you want to take it. So apply to as many schools as you want to. You could apply to everyone on here. You could apply to other ones throughout the state. But just because you're accepted into a school too, you guys aren't locked in anything. It's your decision. It's your fit. It's your, investment in your time. So yeah, do something that you like. When I went to college, I think I applied to, 7, 8 schools. I visited 7, 8 schools. I applied to like 4 or 5 of them. And then you kind of make your decision from there too. So it's, you guys are in a cool opportunity too. We're not, all of us are on the same age, not that much older than you guys, but there's so many resources available online too. And, these virtual visits, websites, social media, even something as like YouTube, we have virtual tours on there. Like you could look around and get a better idea on all these schools too, and figure out what's best for you guys.
I just want to play off the idea of the internships in our location. As we were mentioning internships just before, as far as being in Northeastern Pennsylvania, there's a huge network for all of our majors within Northeastern Pennsylvania, but we're also all 5 of our schools are within 2 to 2.5 hours of New York City and Philadelphia, about 4 to 4.5, 5 to Boston, 4.5, 5 to Pittsburgh as far as metropolitan areas, and really having, that's just within, our close geographical range as well too, not looking at the entire alumni network, mentoring, and this goes for all of our schools and programs as well too, as far as really building that network and being able to get out there and do that. But it's a great location for those reasons, as well as even traveling internationally and doing that study abroad, which you all have study abroad options. So just wanted to add that in as well.
Are there any other questions or any questions that anyone has for either one of us? We must all be really good presenters.
I was going to say, for anyone not comfortable answering a question now, all of us have really great Meet the Staff pages on our websites. Don't hesitate to reach out to any of us via email, via phone, or hopefully when you come visit campus. But we know that some of the information is a little bit more personal. But we do have a question for Wilkes if you have an Air Force ROTC program.
Yes, we do have an Air Force ROTC program into which you can make your commitment to the military within your first year of college. Or if you want to give it a try, you can basically test out the program for your first 2 years. And then by your junior year, you are required to make your commitment or not make your commitment to the military, into which then at that point, your junior and senior year, you actually are paid a housing stipend and food stipend to be within the program. And then you do have your 4 years of commitment to the military after you do graduate from Wilkes University. But it does open up a ton of different avenues in regards to job opportunities and where you'd like to go if you'd like to travel around the nation and even throughout the world within the ROTC program after you complete your 4 years at Wilkes University. Now, King's also has an Army ROTC program into which we work with King's, and King's works with us too in regards to our programs. So actually any schools within the area can join either of our programs in that sense. Come down and do your PT, which is either really early in the morning or a bit later on at night, but that is a mandatory piece of the program.
Okay, thank you guys, because that was a really good presentation. I always learn something new when I hear from you guys. So and I hope that our participants were able to gather some information. I want to thank everyone for joining us, be you a presenter or one of our participants. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at pacac.org. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other session recordings at pacac.org. It's always, I can never read it, but I just can say it. I want to thank everyone for being here, and thank you guys. You did a really great job. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
See ya.
Thank you very much.